Here we go. We back at it again. So my e-guides are still selling for $10, guys. Thank you for all who bought and showed love. Looking forward to y'all reviews. But yes, all my e-guides are going for $10 now to start your business, to build your brand. It goes over everything of what you need as far as monetization goes, what are the requirements. It also includes some links on there, different websites, as well as discounts, discount codes, if you guys want to take advantage of that as well. And I believe I have some for Shopify, as well as outlining to you for outlining things that you need in order to get your store up off the ground as well. So this is free game right now, guys, that I'm offering. As far as everything of what you're getting that includes for $10 is definitely a steal. It goes over different systems, different tools that you can utilize as far as AI goes to make you money. If you guys want no overhead costs, this is the best way to go. $10 is nothing compared to what you would spend if you didn't have this knowledge. So make sure that you guys go ahead and check it out. I go over different strategies, systems, there's discount codes, there's links of what you guys can do, depending on what you want to do as far as your business goes, as far as your brand goes, and content creation. So make sure that you guys go check it out. The link is going to be in the bio, and let me know what your thoughts are. They literally only do it because you're great. They lie on your name because they're jealous of your true character, because of what you embody, who you are, and that's what they're not. They have to make you feel on the outskirts. They have to gather people to go up against you in a way where people look at you like you're the problem. You know what I'm saying? Reflecting off on you, projecting off on you. It's because people know who you truly are. They say things behind your back for whatever the reason, play one way to your face, make faces behind your back, irritated of you because of your light. They have to break you down so that you don't see yourself for who you truly are. Some of it can be deemed as people sacrificing you, people cursing you, people betraying you, but whatever it is, a lot of what you experience has been downright evil. It's literally like being around so many negative energies and vibes that's operating so low. They're at the bottom of the barrel. And what crabs do to get about the barrel, they have to step on other people to get about that barrel, because they're not thinking about how they affecting the next person, if the next person gonna be able to come out of whatever it is that they're, sending their way or being able to overcome. But a lot of people underestimated you as well. But this is literally giving crabs in the barrel the haves and the have-nots. They underestimated you. They manipulated people to go against you. And for a long time, because this has been going on for a long time, I don't think you really saw these people for who they truly were. I think a lot of people tried to run away from what they felt because they knew they wouldn't have an explanation for feeling that way towards you. So these could be people close to you. These could be close friends that was around in your vicinity, in your area, in your group. They couldn't explain it. So for what they couldn't explain, they hid. And they got around other people who they felt shared the same beliefs about you, wouldn't check them or condemn them for how they felt and what they did against you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, just even with those people, nobody had a real reason. You don't deserve that level of hate, that level of envy. You know what I'm saying? That level of evil that was sent your way. If it wasn't for your light, then what was it? What influenced people to hate you? What influenced people to go behind your back and betray you like that? Were people looking into your path? Did they know what your future held? Were they trying to prevent you from stepping into it? Were they trying to defeat you before you got there? Did they want it for themselves? Something. But I'm gonna tell you, um, I kept going over it in my head while a lot of people did what they did, and I couldn't make sense of it. One thing that I did notice, when people went up against me, when people, call themselves unfriending me, kicking me out of a group. You know what I'm saying? People call themselves walking away from me, rejecting me, snitching on me rather, um, alienating me, doing whatever it is they wanted to do. I had to take a close look. I said, you know, I've always been that loyal friend. I've always been the friend. I'm not perfect, but I ain't never been the type where you couldn't trust me. I ain't never been the type where, you know what I'm saying, I would make you feel uh like you're not safe with me. You feel what I'm saying? And whatever, you know, case or setting that may be, there are a lot of people that I showed up for. You know, I showed up for people, and people want to gather people to laugh behind my back when I'm showing up to their party. I turn around, they laughing at me with their significant other, and they supposed to be family. They gathering people to go in the kitchen, not including me, got me sitting on the couch while they sitting there in front of my face, laughing in front of my face, looking over to see if I'm still sitting on the couch. I've had exes come to me and tell me what family of mine, and some of them didn't even want to tell me. They was like, I think that you should have those talks with your people because I don't, you know. So it was so bad. They didn't want to tell me what was being said verbatim. They was just like, I think you need to have a talk with your people. And I'm gonna just say people to be respectful. Because I think family think I'm stupid or forgot a lot of things that happened and that went down. And that's all the way from mother all the way down to cousins. I don't forget anything. The reason why I stayed around for as long as I did and been the bigger person was because I was healing. And because I did want to believe that family was all I had. I did. I wanted that dynamic. But you can't force something that ain't meant to be. Because I would never understand why people got a certain level of hate for me. Maybe because they hate themselves, they hate their life, they hate what they didn't accomplish, but that's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? And so this is going back to why people felt like they had to do things towards me that they wouldn't do towards other people. You understand what I'm saying? When you get told so many times that you're an embarrassment, if I'm having a conversation and I say I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm not worthy, and I say, well, what you trying to say, that I'm damaged goods, and you agree to it. You're not supposed to agree with that. Even if I'm feeling low or I'm feeling whatever, you're supposed to speak life over me. So if I say what you're trying to say, I'm damaged goods, you're supposed to say, rebuttal that and say, no, I think you're beautiful. I think you're beautiful. I think that you're intelligent. I think that you're meant for this. I just think that you need to stop trusting the wrong people. That was never being said around me. Friends took in other people who sat up here and was being fake, was fake to them. But if there was something that they could twist certain situations to try to say, oh, well, Victoria did this, you don't need to be her friend. The whole time they sitting up here doing me wrong or touching me inappropriately. And then I got to see these people, go back to these people and believe what these people say. I I had to see, I seen other people sit up here and respect other people who was disrespectful, all kind of stuff. I come and I try to be nice and respectful with a certain demeanor. It don't get respected. It was a lot of things that I was questioning. Like, what I'm trying to say is, if I'm sitting up here and I'm coming a certain way, why wasn't that reciprocated? Why was it being insinuated? Like, when I was down and out, people sitting up here in so many ways trying to call me ugly. They didn't want to take certain pictures of me. They want to take pictures with me. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't up on myself, it was a lot of things that was being done against me. A lot of people who I thought were my friends turned on me, um, supported what exes of mine was doing, laughed at me about it. I'm trying to sit up there, help people clean their apartment. They sit up there making faces with a boyfriend, a boyfriend that they're no longer with. When I decided to do what I did with God and get closer to Him, because I keep telling people, if you don't believe in Him, you're going to go through something that's going to make you believe. For so many people that try to say I don't believe in God, baby, let me tell you something. Who you think kept me through all that bullying and abuse? Who you think kept me going for life? Never mind going on for life. Who you think at a certain point when He got me about a certain situations pushed me to start talking about Him and attesting to the fact of the things that He delivered me from and brought me up out of, if it wasn't God? Because I for sure went through it. I for sure went through it. People sitting up here just as quick as they give something, they giving it back to me, pointing out every flaw. trying to strong arm me with money and stuff because I didn't have it, putting off on me, all kind of stuff. Want to tell half truths, but won't tell people how they do certain things, take things from me, don't tell me, they don't try to put it back. Very manipulative, very conniving, did things to me that I wouldn't do to them. But when it boiled down to it and they have to tell the story, oh, she was disrespectful, she got out of hand, so I had to sit up here and do this, and I had to do this, and I had to do that. But not telling how they sat up here and said things about me that triggered me. And I'm supposed to just sit there and take it. I remember there was things being said talking about the girl was like, the girl who's supposed to be my friend. Oh, I don't know. God didn't say that. God didn't say this. Nobody was saying nothing when I wasn't getting any views. As soon as my thing took off on Instagram, it took off on TikTok after, and then it hit YouTube. Here she come DMing me on my Instagram talking about all kind of quoting all kind of scripture. It was the God in me that didn't want to throw up because maybe she forgot. And I said, maybe I need to, trigger her memory on when she told me she practiced Santeria to get her ex to come back to her. A nigga didn't even end up marrying her. Went off to marry somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't hit her with it. I say, wow, she's really coming at me. And forget she told me the whole ritual of what she did. And this man ended up getting into a full-fledged car accident. And that in that moment, because he was going through that, he ended up going back to her so she could nurse him back to health. She forget all that she told me that. Coming at me with all kind of scripture about what not God saying. So God had to calm my spirit and tell me and hit her back with scripture. So I hit her back with scripture. Then I said, well, God don't orchestrate certain things, but he'll allow certain things to what I said, little girl. And when we go through those things, if you're strong enough to overcome it, right? You learn a thing or two. You ascend if you choose to. I sat there, I said, wow. Wow. It didn't make sense to me. Even if you feel like what I'm saying is a lie, whatever the case may be, I'm not on here talking about stripping. I ain't out here talking about sexual things. I'm not out here trying to glorify living in a world of sin, whatever you want to. I'm not perfect. Okay, so you may see me go out, you may see me do things, but you're not seeing me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not inspiring or motivating or encouraging people to go out there and kill people, do this, they say this, do this, all this kind of stuff. I'm not doing that. So I don't care what you feel and what you think you know and what you feel like you in a position to critique. What I'm doing is constructive and it's positive and it's influencing other people. Some people I prevented from committing suicide. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And see, this is when I had to realize, like, these people, you know what I'm saying, are demonic. But they cloak themselves like there's something that they're not. Because they really don't want to admit the truth of who they really are. And this is what I'm saying, when you boil down things to, maybe they want to do stuff, or maybe they want to do what you do, but maybe this, that, and the third. And maybe people are trying to kill something that's in you because whatever is in you is not in them. But whatever the case may be, people only did it because you was great. They seen greatness in you, around you, and for you. And I had to get closer to God to make sense of what I was going through, because it didn't make sense to me. Things that I was seeing, how people was treating me, they wouldn't treat another person like that. And I'm the type of person where even if you don't do it to the next person, why are you doing it to me? I'm the type to keep to myself. I'm not the type to sit up here and be fake to nobody. For nothing, you couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me because all money ain't good money. I will stay my ass broke wherever I'm at not having. Until I get it. Until God blessed me to have it. Okay? Before I sit up here and take money from anybody to screw somebody else over. So this is what I'm saying, what led me closer to God, to understand that when people are of a low vibration, they vibe with other people who's of a low vibration. They will befriend these people. They will spare these people. They will not come after these people. They will not bully these people because they're one and the same. When you are different, when you are chosen, when you are of the light, when you got the mark of God on you, people will go after you. They will hunt you down. They will track you down. They will say the most about you. They will try to demean and tarnish your character, get other people. And it was just crazy to me. Like, all my life I seen where I was just put down so bad. I don't even know how I'm here in my right mind. But I promise you, You know, for a lot of things that people said and what they did against me, you know, I prayed for them. I did. I cried and I prayed for them. It's embarrassing when you got people who not even your family coming to you and telling you how bad they talking about you behind your back, how they had to hear it, how that's part of the reason why they backed up and stopped going around and parting people's house. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever was being said, it was that bad. And I didn't understand it because you know, even when I had to hear uncles sit up here and call me a hoe behind my back and put their friends up on my trail when I was going to high school, I had to hear him going back and forth with my aunt and my aunt trying to stick up for me. He just sitting up here talking about something where everybody knows she a hoe, everybody know. And I was like, wow. I see this man in the street. He asked me for money, asked me to get him a case of beer, or asked me to get him a drink or something out of CVS. I go and I get it for him. Never brought up in his face what I heard and what he said and what he did. I just felt like it was just wasn't my place when I healed from something. I moved past it for me to bring it up. Like, you know, I heard this and you know, I heard that. But as I got older, I was like, I don't know if I need to confront it. I don't know if I need to move on from it, pray about it, and ask God to heal my heart because, you know, that stuff you never forget. And that's why I tell you have to heal from the memories because the memories don't ever go nowhere about what people did to you, about what people said. And it's crazy to me how everybody had to hide it. I didn't understand if whatever y'all felt was public information, why did y'all have to hide it? Confirmation. Why did y'all have to sit up here and say things behind my back, right? If y'all was really trying to help me, somebody should have been telling me, come around and we need to have a conversation. Or cousins should have acted more like sisters and brothers rather than enemies and foes and adversaries and sit up here and running my business and talk about me behind my back. Other family members should have been upheld a certain standard. It doesn't matter because when I see how other family members take certain situations, what they do, and they find ways to capitalize off of it, they still love their family. They don't go against them. I just say this is a broken family dynamic, and maybe this is a generational curse that we have to overcome and break, but whatever it is, until it gets done, I'm just gonna remove myself and exit stage left. Because see, I don't have time for it. The things people did to me, I would never do to them. And I don't care how bad I was and how slimy and grimy of a hoe I was. I didn't deserve to be treated like that and talked about like that. Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody who has something to say, you best start reflecting and looking at yourself and going down the list. Because ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody the Mother Teresa or the Pope Francis. But see, ain't nobody want to talk about theirs. They just want to keep projecting. Talk about some of the things that you've done, people that you've burnt, places that you've been and frequent. Talk about your addictions. But they won't do that. A lot of people did what they did because of your greatness, because of who you are, because of where you're destined to go. There are a couple movies that I wanted to say, that I wanted to list, and I'm trying to see if I remember them. Flight Plan. Flight Plan, Blades of Glory. Flight Plan is a movie with Jodie Foster, right? The reason why I mention this is because a lot of y'all had a moment like what she did. Y'all knew what was going on, but people tried to, because people target you, they had to paint you out to be crazy. And there were other people who weren't in on it, but because of how the ones who were in on it made things look, it made it look believable that something was wrong with you. And that, you know what I'm saying, what you were saying out your mouth was lies, or who you were trying to portray yourself to be was a complete false narrative that you was painting of yourself, or whatever the case may be, or whatever your situation was. It took her having to fight. It took her having to believe, you know, what she believed and what she knew, that she did get on that plane with her daughter. You understand what I'm saying? Um, and at the end of the day, she ended up, her glory, her victory was not giving up and calling that man out once she figured out what he was doing. And then at the end of the day, because she knew the plane in and out, she was able to go ahead and find her daughter and escape the plane with her daughter. Now, the people who had so much to say about her was, everybody was clapping when she was held captive and in handcuffs. These people looked so shame in the end when they seen her getting off the plane with her daughter, because the situation was painted out to be not in her favor. that she was lying. They manipulated things, orchestrated things, confirmation, taking the daughter's names off the plane tickets because he had people that was an inside job that he was working with, right? They did what he told them to do. Money was on the line. In real world, in real life, I don't know how far somebody will be able to get. I don't care if they're a federal agent or whatever the case may be. They have to have certain protocols in place to check certain things. You know what I'm saying? And not just give these people free roam just because they're federal agents or people of the law, whatever the case may be, or in the justice system. But I keep telling you, some of these people get a pass because of who they know. And her saving grace was being able to come up off that plane with her daughter, because it was being said that she did not get on the plane with her daughter. And the whole reason why she was going crazy and doing what she was doing, trying to prove it, was because it was saying that they didn't know where her daughter was and that her daughter never got on the plane with her. Now, I keep telling you, some of y'all, even the pilot was like, let us have a moment. Can you let her have a moment? He felt bad. Everybody felt bad. Everybody was holding their head down in shame. Everybody was looking crazy, dumbfounded, because it was like, oh my God, we came after this lady. We made it. Y'all are having a Jodie Foster moment where a lot of people who oppressed you, came up against you, they're being called out. It's crazy how people come after you so hard, and because you don't feed back into that energy and react the way that they want you to react, eventually a person who's chomping at you and a dog who's barking at you will eventually calm down when they see there ain't nobody barking back. You understand what I'm saying? And see, these people dig a hole for themselves out here coming for you when you don't need to be sent for, because you stay out the way. But these people came for you, had it out for you so bad. Everything had to be an error. Everything had to be a problem. They couldn't be proud of you. It was something in them that was just triggered anytime you did something, anytime you achieved something. But I wanted to redirect you guys to a scripture here, Psalms 129. They have greatly oppressed me from my youth, but they have not gained the victory over me. They have greatly oppressed me from my youth, but they have not gained the victory over me. Those who, and see, they know who they are, and they know what they sent, they know what they wanted, they know what they projected, they know what they orchestrated, they know what they said, they know how they kept coming up against you, and it was unbelievable, it was unimaginable, it was unnecessary. You understand what I'm saying? There's so many people out there that, and this is why I'm telling you, it was just your journey, it was your time, it was your test. So all that has been lost, you understand what I'm saying? There is hope for that, because you're going to gain it all back. However God is about to orchestrate, you understand what I'm saying, your glow up and your come up, these people are not prepared for it, because look at all what they did and how they invested and went so hard to want to see you down. I'm going to tell you something again. Nobody seeks to harm someone, to destroy someone, to ruin someone, to bully someone, to block someone, to want someone with nothing that has nothing in store for them. The crazy thing about it is people wanted to do you wrong and wanted to go off and wanted to prosper and live well, while always being able to look back and see you suffer. I don't know how deep of a ditch they dug for you and expected you to just be down there. But when I tell you, baby, kudos to you for being able to overcome every obstacle, every block. Because what people intended for you, trying to sacrifice you, trying to sit up here and do things towards you, they had to use other people. They had to play a certain way to your face in order to pull this off. So there are more people, more than you want to know, that was involved in this or that knew about it. But the sad thing about it is everybody, even those who underestimated you, didn't think you would come up out of it. Everybody is seeing and learning a thing or two about coming up against God's chosen ones. And so you see why I tell you God was using you. Sometimes God just used you to be the person, right? To be the person that these people go up against and attack, right? So that he can will you to where he needs you to be in order to show these people and teach these people a lesson about going up against his children, right? Because they don't believe. So in order for them to believe, they have to go through something. You understand what I'm saying? But unfortunately, for people like us, we don't just go around seeking of whom we can kill, steal, and destroy from. You understand what I'm saying? So it took, in order to set things off in motion, right? In order to set things off in motion, these people had to do exactly what they did. So that's why I tell you, stop crying over spilled milk and crying over what it is that you lost, because that's where these people are at. Crying over spilled milk, and now the milk done turned sour and it's spoiled and it's rotten and it's smelling real foul over there, and they don't like where they at. But that's the bed that they made for themselves. That's the environment that they created for themselves. Okay? That's a series of events that they yearned and willed it for themselves, that they themselves have to sit there and lie and go through it. You understand what I'm saying? Beating a dead horse. The horse already dead. It ain't coming back to life no time soon. But you still want to beat it. It ain't going to change the outcome. It ain't going to change what these people did to you. It ain't going to change what it is that they have to go through. Okay? Who am I talking to? He was using you as bait, being on the front line, call it whatever it is that you may call it. But see, who God uses, no man can curse. And they did the worst. Do you understand me? I remember so many people coming against me, telling me I'm gonna, in so many ways, bust hell wide open for what I'm doing, for what I'm saying. Here it is, they supposed to be in the church and feeling like they are qualified, right? In a position to tell me what I shouldn't be doing, but sitting up here lying. And I caught them in a lie. Sitting up here and I see how they act vain towards other people. Like, don't, take her stuff. You need to come over here. See, come over here. You keeping up mess. You keeping up mess, but you claim to be of God. And then you think that you're in a position to tell somebody else that they gonna bust hell wide open. Baby, let me tell you something. It's so many people have hit you on so many ends, on so many corners, on so many levels. It'll make your head spin. Like I said, they have greatly oppressed me from my youth, but they have not gained the victory over me. Whatever it is that they was trying to do, get people, tell other people, if family's going behind your back, whoever's going behind your back, telling these people things about you that made them look at you a certain way, and then also judged you on the fact that your family was even doing you like that. People will judge you for things like that. They won't look that the family is fucked up, right? They won't look at it, maybe it's just something wrong with that family. However many of them they are. Somebody needs to heal. And because they have not healed, even if they feel remorse for what they've done, they in too deep. Hashtag in too deep. They did too much. They said too much. They initiated things already where you should have been dead. So there's no petitioning, there's no question, there's no seeking whatever it is that these people are trying to seek. Because had you not been who you are and been as strong as you was, and as quick wit and willed as you are, you understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't be here today. And that's just period. That's all Mary Had a Little Lamb, This Is White Snow. Play with it, don't play with me. I'm sure that 305 Kingway Project. They say so much about you, right? They say so much about you, right? They have so much to say about you, right? Let's go ahead and place these people up in your predicament, in your shoes, and see if they survive. They have so much to say. So much hate in them for no reason. Where is it coming from? Because they're not around you anymore. Because they cannot beat you up anymore. Because they can't use you. Because they couldn't sacrifice you. What's the real reason? Yeah. They saw greatness in you. Them cousins, them aunts, them exes, them fake friends. You understand me saying? For some of y'all parents. For some of y'all, people from y'all neighborhood, from y'all community, from some of y'all, your classmates. For some of y'all, people. I keep telling you, people had to do something real vain to you, that was real foul, sabotaging projects for you, making things real hard for you wherever you was at, wherever you went. So people would reject you, or so things you would get treated differently from other people. And their reasoning behind this is what? What's the reason when you didn't deserve it? I mean, we ain't go around playing victims. A lot of people out here that ain't make it here today. They didn't deserve their death. But can't nobody reverse that. You didn't deserve a lot of lies that was told on you. But we can't reverse it. What we do is we move on and we let these people expose themselves. Because when they can't keep up with them lies that they done told, something somewhere starts to get, what's the word I'm looking for? Somewhere starts to seem a little fishy, if you ask me. Because see, if you tell me something, I ask you and I recall it back 2 months, 3 months down the line, it should be that same thing. If you didn't lie, if it's the truth, we always remember the truth. The truth is the damn truth. It's the truth. You didn't alter it, you ain't bend it, you ain't water it down, so you should always remember it when somebody called back on it, right? But see, if you out here lying, you ain't finna remember that unless you done wrote it down somewhere. See, you realize it, man. Don't nobody care for what the truth is. Don't nobody care for what's right and for what's just. People care about filling up their stomachs, fattening up their pockets, and keeping up with what's vain and what's superficial and what's materialistic. And you didn't fit into that status. You didn't fit in that bubble that they was in. And so they targeted you. And I'm gonna tell you something, for a lot of y'all, they targeted you in the worst way. Some people targeted you because they couldn't be you. They couldn't be different like you. They couldn't be of the light like you. Y'all like oil and water, it don't mix. But somewhere, somebody down the line should have stopped a long time ago. This is your Jodie Foster moment. People are realizing that you were telling the truth because you're coming out, showing your truth, speaking your truth, standing in your truth. You have proof of your truth. It trumps any lie that was told, unfortunately, especially when you keep your receipts. So I don't know what the hell people thought. They was just gonna keep paying people, keep coming after you, keep telling lies everywhere you went, causing people to look at you crazy, distance themselves from you. I don't know what people was trying to do. I don't know. Nobody goes that hard. I will tell you that. Nobody goes that hard unless they got some kind of a demon attachment or negativity surrounded around them and in them, and some level of toxicity as well. Okay? This is a free world. This is a free country. We can say what we want to say, do what we want to do, baby. If we ain't beating down people's doors, stealing out of people's bank accounts, harming people's children, don't nobody should be coming up, jumping up out their bed, sitting up here, getting on the wrong side of the bed, want to let them horns show and wreak all kind of bohemian hell up in your life for no just reason. And that's what's being exposed. They didn't have a reason. They lied. Whatever reason they had, it was all lies. It was all manipulation, all out of envy and jealousy for you, all out of to oppress and suppress you, the truth speaker, the truth seeker, a warrior, a champion in your own right. You are the people's champ. So go ahead and give yourself a round of applause because, baby, people are already taking a vote. It ain't nothing that these people going to be able to do to sway or manipulate. It's the mere fact that they went so damn hard to try to sway people away from you. It's crazy. Blaze of Glory. I know y'all look at that. It was a comedy movie, yes. But look at it towards the end. When you are basically rising, it was on the rise, back to prominence, back to receiving justice, for everything that they, had been through and what they lost. You get the other couple, right, that was doing the doubles or competing with them in the finals or whatever. What they did, they sat up here and wanted to go against the people, trying to lock them up, trying to, what he tried to do, tried to tie the other one up, tried to separate them, tried to do whatever they was going to do, to keep them from being able to compete. Why do that if you know that you got it in the bag? Why do that if somebody is not competition, if you don't deem this person as competition, if you're not in the competition, if you see no competition, if nobody is a threat to you, if you're not intimidated, I'm just going down the list, if you're not a fucking bully, if you're not demented in your brain, if there's not a chemical imbalance and something wrong with you in your brain, in your heart, in your spirit, ding dong, the witch is home. Oh, okay. Like I said, why else would they do it? Why else would they keep telling lies? Why are they going so damn hard when there's so much life out here to live? So much food out here to try? Jobs that need to be worked, for bills that need to be paid? Who is going this hard? Yeah, ask yourself that. I think it's dawning on a lot of people that wasn't using their damn brain and letting somebody else who didn't have a brain lead them down a trail of destruction and misery and misfortune. Stop trying to fight other people's battles. Fight your own. Okay? Like I say, it's not your fault. You ain't got to do nothing because God is going to do it. You ain't got to do nothing because God is going to do it. You ain't got to do nothing because God is going to do it. Okay? This is your Jodie Foster moment. Hashtag flight plan. Hashtag blaze of glory. If a person got to do so much to try to keep you from competing and not showing up to the rink, not showcasing your talent, not bringing and putting your best effort forward, best foot forward on the stage, that means they don't want you to show yourself because they know once you show yourself, the attention will be taken up off of them. It's going to be on you. Once you around,
These people ain't gonna want to deal with. I don't know what it is, but I tell you, boy, they're showing themselves that they're intimidated, that there is most definitely a problem that didn't need to be a problem, but they wanted to make it be a problem because of what they felt. In the end, when you fight like they fought, they still found each other and made their way to the rink. And when they competed, they did a move that most people weren't able to do successfully. Even through the obstacles, the sabotage, she still was at it. She wouldn't stop. So maybe this, like I said, in the Blaze of Glory, it was a sister and a brother duo. Once they showed up together, it was like, okay, maybe it's, she's like, no. She threw a little ball. And so, whatever happened, they had to end up switching because he had broke his ankle. They still won in the end. And they had to take their seat beneath them, or they think they got disqualified or whatever they got. But I keep telling you, eventually you back and let people fight with themselves. Let people keep picking a bone with you. Let people keep coming after you, baby. Let me tell you something. All that starts with evil, it don't end well. It's not a fair fight. It wasn't a fair fight that they did. They wanted you really down. They wanted you with nothing, and you don't do that to people. I don't know what the hell was wrong with people. You didn't do nothing, and then they lied. This person cheated on you, never took you serious, played you all the way to the left, just to go off somewhere, wanting to be happy there, having to down you and tell lies about you, saying that you was the cheater, you was the liar, you took from them, you did this, and you was nothing but sweet and loving to them. Nobody cares about that. If they find an opportunity where they can go off and not have their reputation tarnished, that's what they're gonna do. You got people out here that don't have no integrity and they don't have a backbone in them. Baby, I don't care how nice she was to me. I see an opportunity for me to go on and not be targeted, not to be bad mouthed or whatever for how I did you because I was dirty. So what I'm finna do is I'm just finna throw you up under the bus. Screw all what you did. Screw all your niceness, all your kindness. Screw you being a bigger person. Screw all of that. I don't care about none of that. I'm trying to go off here. I'm trying to trick off. I'm trying to be over here, and I need something. You know what I'm saying? It's really giving. Like I said, people just wouldn't stop. They didn't want to tell the truth. They just didn't want to make things right, and that's cool and that's fine. So now, as things start getting balanced out and God starts smoothing off them rifts and making right those sabotages and the betrayals and the evil that people sent to you, they need to honor that. They need to accept it for what it is, because ain't nothing they gonna be able to do will change it. It's not gonna change the outcome. You still get to the finish line. You still show up to the ring. You still are able to compete. You still are able to move forward. They should have never screwed with that to begin with. It wasn't nothing that needed to be played with. Okay? Because you had already earned that. You had already earned that. You already went through your struggles and your pain for that. Something is wrong. But I'm not gonna get into it on this video. I'm gonna reiterate what I said. I'm gonna repeat this verse for those of you who did not catch it. Psalms 129. They have greatly oppressed me from my youth, but they have not gained the victory over me. Whoever she is, whoever he is, wage spiritual warfare. They did it because you were great. You are great. They see greatness in you. God got to make right all this time that was lost, that passed, that you ain't even been really living. You just been merely existing because you've been going back and forth, up and down in this fight for your life with these people who didn't want to leave you alone. They didn't understand it. And they didn't care that you was good. They didn't care that you deserved to live your life and make your own decisions. They saw something in you that was not in them. They saw you living a certain life that they wasn't able to live. They tried the imitation. They tried all of that. It didn't work. It can't work. These people were always accepted. They was always on the end. They was always popular. It was something that went wrong that for you that went right for these people. And you took that, and God allowed you to take your pain, to turn it into and will it into power and will it into success for you. Now they sit wherever they at, not even being grateful that they didn't have to go through what you went through. They're still sitting wherever they at, catching a fight, being pissy, because now you was not only was you able to overcome what you went through, you turned it into a success for yourself. You turned it into a money making machine for yourself. Nobody told you how to do it. They didn't have a hand in it. So you know what they want to do? They want to sit back and they want to destroy it. They can't be the captain. They want to poke holes up in the ship and sink it. And send they stupid stuff up on the boat or try to get a lifeboat and save their own life where everybody else perish. It's definitely giving chemical imbalance. It's really definitely, most definitely giving haterade. It's definitely giving that. It's something that they can't run away from, because you can't see, once you are caught red-handed and people know the whole reason why you sitting up here talking bad on a person, kept bringing them up, wasn't the reasons that you said it was. Nobody wants to deal with that, because see, you something wrong. That means you didn't have to bring them up, but you chose to bring them up. For what reason? You wanted to see what somebody else was gonna say about the person? Crazy as hell. I don't know what's wrong with them. I really don't know what's wrong with them. But I tell you, they only did it because they see greatness in you, baby. Don't nobody do this for somebody that ain't got no greatness in them. They a nobody. Who wants to be like a nobody? And I never heard of that. I never heard of somebody wanting to be like a nobody. But I have heard of people trying to imitate, duplicate, and copy and ruin people who are somebodies, big somebodies, in the spiritual and the physical. Okay? So whatever this little witch hunt, whatever this little crusade these people was on, mission these people was on, it's over. You have to get on and you have to live your life. All right? You have to be afforded the same opportunity that you gave other people. When they screwed you over, you moved on. All right? The only reason why you're probably thinking about it now is because whatever done happened with these people. But when people messed you over, you didn't keep going around bringing up their name. When you heal, you have to try to forget about certain things. So that's how I know some of y'all was not some of y'all, most of y'all was not doing to these people what these people was doing to you. They didn't have access to you no more. And they did it. They blocked off the access. They didn't want it. They didn't want you. They didn't want to be a friend of you. They just wanted to keep being fake towards you and then doing whatever they was doing behind your back. Okay? Unfortunately, you serve a God that sit high and look low. And ain't nothing that these people gonna be able to do to run away from the punishment and what they've done. How can you run? He saw everything you did. He saw everything you did. Everything you did. Everything you said. It wasn't you. Is that what people gonna say? It wasn't them. The devil made them do it. I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy I said that, because that movie about the devil made me do it. That girl got so deep into the occult, and her dad was trying to save her because he felt like part of the reason why she was the way she was because of him. Right? So she had to she made altars, had contracts, out here sacrificing people for their soul, for whatever that's what she was doing. Messed around and every bone up in her body got cracked and bent when that negative and dark entity and spirit came to get and collect her, because she couldn't deliver what she promised. When you don't know who's doing this, baby. I don't know who cutting rooster heads, throwing the blood on people's names on damn altars and burning the shit up in flame. I don't know what crazy stuff I'm telling you, it's chemical imbalance. I don't know who these people are paying. I don't know what mess they're into. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you something. When you get into that, you better know what the hell you're getting into. You better make for damn sure you own the money. See, I wouldn't try, if I'm in that deep, dark stuff, I wouldn't be sitting up here trying to try God's children. Because, see, we have a certain level of protection that you cannot penetrate through. No matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, no matter how many witches you get up on your payroll, it's not going to happen. Because it ain't meant to happen. That's a soul you ain't meant to have. That's a life you ain't meant to take. Because God is using them. Again, I'm going to go back to what she was doing. She couldn't deliver on this particular boy, because at this point, them people who had been going through, they was in the conjures and the different stuff like that, they go around and they do things like that. So they had already knew that they needed to break that altar. So once she was doing things, still going at it, trying to get this boy, they ended up finding the altar And she ended up bringing her husband back to his right mind. Remember, there was some little pixie dust or whatever she threw on him, had him out his mind. And so the lady was able to bring the husband back, and then that husband or her, I think it was the husband. I can't recall. I ain't watched that movie in a very long time. Somebody broke that altar. Oh, and she knew it was over. But she couldn't run. Where you finna run? Boy, when I tell you there was an identical, I think it was an identical of her, but way more dark, how I looked. That thing came out, boy, and she knew. When I tell you could see the now this a person now was not scared when she killed her father. I keep telling people, see, you think you know what you messing with, and you really don't. You really don't. You really don't. But you get instant gratification just to see somebody else struggle, knowing that you was blocking their roads, knowing that you was sending evil their way. And see, because we didn't fight fire with fire, and we let God handle our battles and fight our fights for us, that's how we was able to get to this point. See, she wasn't scared when she took her daddy life. Took it like it was nothing. She wasn't scared for all them other people whose lives she took. Wasn't even scared when she was taunting them people who was sent in to help that boy. But the look on her face when the devil came to collect, boy, I tell you, I think she knew where she was going. She didn't want to go there. But see, for how long did you think you was gonna work evil and have your life? For how long did you think you was gonna work evil and money was gonna keep flowing to you and you was gonna be in good health? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what diluted land or form of dementia or delusion do you have or that you're dealing with? Because it may be something that a psychiatrist may not be able to handle or deal with. I don't know. For how long did you think you was gonna do this, and you thought it wasn't gonna come back on you? Yeah, they did it, trying to oppress you, trying to keep you held back, trying to have you lose opportunities, get old and be in poverty. Baby, it's over. Like I said, Psalms 129, they have greatly oppressed me from my youth, but they have not been able to gain the victory over me. They have not been able to gain the victory over you, over your finances, over your life, over your forward progression, over your purpose, over your destiny, over your future, over your children. Absolutely. Okay? So hold your head up. Never let nobody see you sweat. You know what this is. If we dealing with crabs in a barrel, baby, they got a real twisted way of thinking when it comes to people who have more than them or is destined for greater than them. It's the haves and the have-nots. So if I was you, I'd be quiet about a lot of damn things. I'd be checking everybody up in my camp, in my circle. You understand what I'm saying? I'd be keeping God first throughout the day, every day for the rest of my life, and hold on tightly to Him because you've seen firsthand what darkness can do, what evil can do. You've seen it. You know it's real. You wouldn't have come across this video if you didn't experience some form of evil from people. The things that they say, how they look at you, how they you had to catch people, turn around to see people making faces at you like that. Not speaking life into you, but speaking the opposite, taking life from you, telling you what you can't do. People said a lot of things, whether the devil made them do it or what. What they can't run away from is that they did it, and they did it towards somebody that was minding their business. So they got up out their way to get up in your way to mess with you because they didn't like where their life was going and how their life panned out. Or maybe they did, but they just didn't want you to have no kind of life. That wasn't a choice that they was in a position to make. They should have been somewhere apologizing and repenting for how bad they did you, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted to keep going. They wanted to keep going. So may God be with them. You know, may God be with them. The oppression is over. The oppression is over. The blockages is over. This is over. All right. And like I say, you already know how I'm coming. If you need love, you got it in me. If you need inspiration, you got it in me. All right. I'm your sister. I'm your friend. I come with that real, never that fake. I'm that shoulder that you can lean on. I'm that listening ear that you can vent to. Okay. Continue to reach one, teach one, bring others to the JC gang. We ride together. We slide together. JC gang for life. Okay. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. I love y'all. Okay. Keep fighting wherever you at. Keep fighting the good fight and go strong, go hard, all the way to the finish line. Cause you definitely got that free roam to do that. You always have. You just had to deal with some opposition that was your life because people, and we'll never know why you had to deal with it and other people didn't have to deal with it, you know, whatever was on you and how God was marking you and using you, people just didn't want it to happen. And fortunately, these people are good with keeping up with appearances. These people are good at manipulating people because of how people think of them. Maybe because of how they look. Maybe these people are older. Maybe they people of the church. You know, maybe they was matriarchs and patriarchs of the family. Maybe they, was an upstanding law-abiding citizen up in the community. Who knows? But behind closed doors, this is what they really do to people. They want to break people, bind people up, oppress people, and they pick and choose who they want to do it to and how bad they want it done. But it's cool because, like I said, God is smoothing out everything, baby, because they tried the right one, or let's say the wrong one when it came to you. And until next time, y'all stay prayed up and be blessed.